What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube exclusive. I am your host, James Murphy, aka Murph, and today I'm going to be going over my Tom Brady interview that I had about a month ago or so. Maybe interview that I had about a month or so ago. And I posted my Tom Brady interview on March 8th. I believe I had the interview with him a couple days prior. But I just kind of want to give you my thoughts, breakdown, analysis, flashback, rewind, whatever you want to call it, about that wonderful, incredible interview that I had with him. Because a lot of people say it was fake, but a lot of people say it was real. So I'm going to be debunking any and all theories that there may be out there about this interview. And I I can't go on the joke too much longer. Unfortunately, it was not real, as a lot of people may suspect nowadays. And I'm gonna go over everything about how I was able to make this funny interview with Tom Brady. And I was only able to get away with this because he was on the James Corden show, I think like a day or two before this interview came out. And obviously, I was able to get away with him saying, "Hi, James," if I can find it. Where does he say "Hi, James"? Here we go. Where he says "Hi, James."
For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Hi, James. Great seeing you, man. I always enjoy being with you, so love being on your show.
Tom?
So I was only able to get away with that because, he was saying "Hi, James," James Corden. And if you go back, I have this little pause here. And let me mute it because we don't need to hear it. I have a little pause here where it kind of freezes Brady right here where he's frozen for like a second, and then he kind of like glitches in and it says like, "Oh, hi, James." Well, I had that because when James Corden introduced Brady, people were clapping and he kind of said something again right before Brady said, "Hi, James, pleasure," whatever. And I still wanted to have that clapping feature, but the only way I was able to do it is if I kind of did that where I freeze framed Brady sitting there and then his introduction to, being the guest on the interview. I could have put clapping, over it, which would have probably worked better. I could have just completely got rid of it nonetheless. But I did want that clapping feature just to kind of feel like that I had like a audience per se for this interview. So there's that, which was probably the biggest giveaway onto how it was fake. And then obviously you can kind of just see that the questions I was asking, getting the answers back from Brady, weren't all that great.
Maybe even a free agent. I'll take a free agent. Anywhere.
Being completely honest, you have zero chance.
So there's a little glip right there because, again, James Corden kind of, interrupted Brady as he was giving his answer, as, Brady was like, "To be completely honest." Then James Corden came in, and then Brady, is like, "You have no chance." So just kind of having to cut out where James Corden kind of interrupts Brady was kind of a challenge. I mean, it was easy to cut his voice out, but it was kind of a challenge to keep it as realistic as possible without having too many, glips and glitches and all that good stuff. So those were probably the two biggest takeaways. And then lastly, right here,
or I guess my Patriots
is right here.
I think you're
This close up.
so talented. You can't be great at everything. Look at you.
So I had to have this really close up because when Brady was speaking on the show, they had, it zoomed out where James Corden was in the shot, and then you could see like the big monitor that Brady was on as well. So I had to crop all that out to zoom right in onto Brady's face, which it worked fine. It fit the screen. And to be honest, I don't think that was that big of a giveaway. Why would I be trying to zoom in on Tom Brady's face? I mean, who knows, right? But those three were the biggest, the reasons. Those were the reasons why that this Tom Brady interview doesn't seem authentic or anything. Also, there was no goodbye at the end. I just, kind of like, ended it. But it was super funny, and people thought it was real for a brief second and a brief moment, and it was honestly hilarious. It was so fun to make, and honestly, I could do this with anybody on James Corden's show. And if anyone doesn't know who James Corden is, he is a host of a late night show where he has tons of celebrities, guests, athletes of the like, and he just has a lot of fun. A lot of people know him, or if you do know him, you probably know him from what is it, like the karaoke driver or whatever the hell it's called. I don't even know what it's called, but yeah, he did karaoke with superstars, celebrities, athletes, whoever it may be. Just kind of driving around. I think it was New York City, but I'm just doing it for fun. I ain't stealing his content for my own gains. I'm just doing it just for pure entertainment, give people chuckles and laughters, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to have fun in this world, right? So thank you so much for joining me on this brief edition segment. I don't know, this YouTube exclusive where I break down my Tom Brady interview, which was absolutely hilarious. And if you haven't watched it, I will leave a link to that down in the description below, or I think it'll be here or there. I haven't yet figured out where the little tabs go. I think it's going to be over here for you guys, but I'm not too sure. Right there, I think. But nonetheless, thank you so much. Please comment down below. Tell me what you think about this or anything in general. And if you haven't already, please smash that like rating if you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. But until then, as always, I will catch you in the next one. See ya.